Welcome back to Long Island Main Street News, where we celebrate local business, community, and government leaders. Over 800 interviews so far, so thank you for listening. We got to thank Tied In Media Studios for hosting us. We also got to thank National Grid for supporting a lot of these programs. And also, we just want to thank you again for tuning in. And if you want to get on our list of 25,000 plus people, send an email to outreach@visionlongisland.org and we will get you on the list, okay? So today we're getting into the important issue of drugs, alcohol abuse, and other problems in our neighborhoods, right? So we have a very special guest, Linda Oristano, who is the executive director of a group called AWARE, which is Drug and Alcohol Community Coalition. Okay, they're based out of Northport. This is an important group, community-based group that gets a whole lot done. I know them personally, and I'm really glad they're here with us. Linda, thank you for taking the trek.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming down. I know we've tried to do this a couple times. You got a crazy schedule. I know you're busy up there in Northport doing a lot of important work with community leaders and schools and so much. So I know what you guys do, but maybe tell folks out there what you guys are about.
Sure. Thank you. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
So AWARE is a fairly new name, formerly East Northport Community Drug and Alcohol Task Force. It was founded in 2006 when 2 high school students had overdosed, and the community and the school and the trustees, they got, really upset, obviously, over that. So they formed a drug and alcohol task force, and they wanted to get the message out about prevention and education, which are really important. Those are the 2 things that we do. We had been East Northport for many years, and then recently we separated from our fiscal agent, and we decided that we should go on our own and we should become our own 501c3 nonprofit. And the reason for doing that is because we wanted to be able to go after grants, and we wanted to expand our program. We work with 12 different sectors, so it was really important for us to do that. And so we named us AWARE, Drug and Alcohol Community Coalition. AWARE stands for advocacy, wellness, action, resiliency, and education. And that's who we are, and that's what we do. And we work with parents, we work with youth, and we work with community.
All right, that's great. That's great. And these issues, we've had other groups on. We've had the Deer Park Drug and Alcohol Coalition. We've had folks from Rockville Center on, folks from Baldwin on that have their own community coalitions to address these issues, and it's really pervasive. Maybe just give me a snapshot of what are the issues that you see happening related to drugs, alcohol abuse, and maybe other related concerns for youth and beyond?
Sure. So substance misuse is obviously prevalent in every community.
Yeah.
We're finding that vaping in the schools are off the charts. So that is a huge concern for us. Alcohol seems to be down with our youngsters, although it's still the number 1 drug. And then, of course, you have drugs, you have opioids, and that is also, it's coming down. We saw the numbers come down last year. But again, every time the numbers come down, a new drug comes out. Right. So we were very concerned with fentanyl.
Yeah.
I don't even consider that a drug. I consider it a poison.
It's a poison, right? Yeah.
And then now we have carfentanil, which is 43 times stronger than fentanyl. This is like an elephant tranquilizer. Not to mention you have things like xylazine, which is also animal tranquilizers. And what they do is they mix the fentanyl with these drugs, and it becomes, a longer period of time to stay high. But, unfortunately, you could die, in the middle of it because of the severity of the drug itself. So, I think we're really lucky because of all the prevention that everyone has been doing. And we have some wonderful people in the community. We have different agencies. We have coalitions all through Long Island. which is something I'll mention to you a little later. But all of the prevention and education, I really believe, is paying off. And I think that's really important to be able to at least share with our youth, what's happening. We'll never be able to tell them what to do. You can't tell someone what to do, but we can share with them what the resources are, what happens, what the risks are, and where to go if something does happen.
Yeah, so some of these drugs, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so yeah, there were, Quaaludes and meth, and there was crack, and but some of this stuff is so toxic that, wow, it's just wow, just a little portion of this and you're dead. I mean, you really don't know what you're getting, I don't know, drug expert, I'm really not a drug guy, but never was. But the point is, I'm blessed in that regard. But how do you, how do you deal with this stuff? I mean, particularly the fentanyl. I mean, people are just dying because of this stuff. And what can you do? What can a community do? How do you do education around this stuff? Like, how do you wrap yourself around this?
So we have a lot of evidence-based programs that we do in the schools, and we also do them in the communities. I mean, obviously Narcan is number one,
right?
Okay, which is naloxone. But
how does Narcan work for people out there who don't understand it?
So Narcan works, it's really not a difficult thing to work. It's like a nose spray. And of course, the first thing you do when you want to administer it is make sure you have gloves on and you protect yourself and call 911 immediately before you even administer the Narcan. And then it's a nose spray. You put it into someone's nostril, one nostril, and then you turn the person over. And because if they wake up, they could be violent, they could be angry. We don't know exactly how they're going to respond to it.
Right.
And then hopefully by then, you'll have 911 there that can help you.
Yeah.
But you can go back into an overdose within 30 to 90 seconds.
Okay.
So it's really important that you get somebody there to help you right away. And hopefully they'll go to the hospital. But it's a simple thing to use.
Okay. So you do the Narcan training, or you have the Narcan available for folks.
Yeah, and I said seconds, it's minutes. I apologize.
Okay. Okay, 39 minutes. Okay, yeah. Got it. All right, so there's a little time there. Interesting. So, all right, so that's the fentanyl. You said alcohol is down a little bit, but that's still an issue, right?
Yeah, alcohol is the number one drug in the country. Okay. But we are finding that the younger kids are not drinking as much.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, this vaping is really something that's really interesting to them, and they find it that's off the charts, like in the middle schools even, which is young.
Right. Yeah, I remember going into some of these vaping shops and I was yelling at some people. They had like, I don't know, Captain Crunch flavor and, SpongeBob. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Cotton candy,
cotton
watermelon.
candy. Yeah. It's like, what is this stuff?
And the way they're delivering it is really interesting. I mean, you put a hoodie on and you got these strings and you can vape through the strings. It's like, so people don't even know you're doing it.
I didn't even know that. Wow.
And then now they have the ones that are computerized. They have games on them. So as you're vaping, you could be playing these games. There's just so much variety to choose from.
Yeah.
We just did a vaping initiative, which we were really proud of, on Lockfield. Lockfield is in East Northport, and it originally had...
It's a road through East Northport. Yeah.
And it originally had 9 vape shops. They were down to 6. And, our community was really upset, and continues to be, to have this type of store in the area. And they'd like to see them go out of business. But as I've shared, we're not in the business to put people out of business. Yeah. So we decided to partner with them.
Okay.
And we went in, we met with them, we had them come to a meeting. This is the owners of the vape shops. And they pledged with us that they wouldn't sell to underage children and under 21. And we gave them a retail educational packet that had the Town of Huntington zoning laws, which the Town of Huntington was really great on moving that forward. We also had how to recognize a fake ID, a calendar on what date it is, so what age you can sell to.
Right.
So we had a whole bunch of different paraphernalia in there for them and information so that they would learn more about it. And then they put a sticker in the window, and it said that we pledge with the Drug and Alcohol Task Force, and we will not sell to under 21.
That's great.
So,
that's great. It's great to partner with the business community. It's
yes.
so important. And I think most of them, I would hope, want to make their money off adults, and really don't want to be getting their money off kids and getting them in the wrong path. So let's pivot a little bit to, you have a whole range of projects that you do. Obviously, business outreach is probably one of them, right? But in addition to that, you have events and things that you do. You guys go into the schools, right, and talk
yes.
to the kids? Yeah.
Yes.
So
as a matter of fact, I'm doing on November 4th, we have Superintendent's Day at Elwood. I'll be speaking. I'll be doing a Narcan training for the teachers, which is really great. And then on a Thursday and Friday of the following week, we will be in the school all day long with the students, every grade, doing vaping education.
Right.
And then hopefully on December 4th, we're going to do a program called Hidden in Plain Sight, which has been around for a while, but we are bringing it here into our community. And what it is, it's a mocked bedroom, child's bedroom set up, and paraphernalia is hidden all over the room. And it's really to help parents learn more about what's out there and what it is, not that they will spy on their kids. We want to make sure that parents aren't spying on their kids because, their bedroom is a very private area for them and a safe space. So, it's a balance.
It's a balance, because sometimes if somebody's doing something all messed up, you gotta get involved as a parent too. So it's that's got to be a struggle. I like that, hidden in plain sight. That's good awareness. So what are some of the other things you do? I know you just came off something. You had like a big color.
So we had a color dash, and basically we've been doing a color run every year. We changed it to a dash this year. We try to make it more of a festival, so it would be a longer day for parents to bring their children and experience different activities, but it's great.
So this event that people come together to school, and
it's so great. They come. We held it at Northport Middle School, and it's open to the whole community. They run around for a mile and a half, and we throw color at them.
We throw color,
And the kids love it. We love it. We love throwing the color. But it's a really, it's a great event that we do. And, then we had, the bounce house, and we had a DJ, and we have face painting.
Sure.
All the normal things that you would have. And we have resource tables pretty much at everything that we do.
Okay.
And the resource tables are for the parents to be able to pick up information as they see fit.
No, that's great. That's great. And you probably partner, I'm guessing, along the way with EMS, the police, the fire departments, all the folks that plug into the ecosystem of support or response to drug and alcohol abuses. They
are so amazingly helpful with us. For instance, I'll just use the Northport Police Department. We are partnering with them, and on November 10th at Cafe Portofino on Main Street, we're going to be doing a communications connection with Northport Police, and we're going to be having a Narcan training. We're going to be talking about gaming. We're going to be talking about social media, and it's open to everyone to come in.
Nice. So you have that. Now you also have like a YDA too, right? A youth development agency that probably plugs into you guys, because you're another group of kids a group of folks that plug into youth and within the community.
Sure, the YDA is a great program also. They're on Main Street, and they have after-school programs, and they have weekend programs for kids to go out to and have a good time. And these are all opportunities for young adults to just be together, have friends, bond, not get high.
Right. Alternatives.
It's an alternative.
Right. They do movie nights and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And, it's kind of.
And they're great. And then we have our youth coalition, which is in the high school. So One Life. One Life is a mini us, and they are in Northport High School, and they consist of grades 9 through 12. and they meet once a week from 3 to 4. And they are amazing. They have 3 initiatives that they focus on. One of them is substance misuse, another one is mental health, and the other one is environmental issues. We just came off RAP Week, which is Recovery Awareness and Prevention Week, and that's done in the Commons at Northport High School. The principal, Rob Dennis, is really great. We have Anthony Ferrandino, who is also fantastic, and they set up this program. We have like 16 different resources come in, and they're around the Commons for the whole day. And every day there's a different event that takes place.
Yeah, it's great. My daughter's part of that.
Yes.
Full disclosure, I know this is a great organization and a great effort because they're working in a school. I know she's part of that. We got One Life group and really enjoys it. And it's just, I noticed the approach is a little different. I remember back when I was growing up, you learned about drugs or you learned about alcohol. A cop would come in and yell at you, or someone would tell you, if you do drugs, you're gonna die. Like really, like it was like, So it was a little more fear and intimidation. What's the style now? It's a little different with the kids, right?
Scare tactics don't work.
Yeah. I remember that.
I remember too. It's like, this is your brain on drugs.
Yeah, it is your brain on drugs, right? They had the drunk driving video with like blood all over the windshield, exactly. And you're like watching the video, and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy.
We find scare tactics just don't work anymore.
Okay,
and nor do we want to put fear into a child or a youngster,
Right.
Stigma is huge, and this is something that we try to work on all the time. It keeps people away from joining groups like One Life because they're afraid of the stigma. They don't understand it. Yeah. So that's why we're trying to change things, like words matter.
Right.
We don't say an addict, we say a person in recovery, or, we say, misuse instead of abuse.
Right.
There's
so many everyone druggies.
No druggies.
You don't call druggies.
We can't use druggies anymore. Okay. Yeah. And it took me a while to get used to that.
Yeah, because I'm used to calling people druggies. Yeah.
And it's from where we are, it's like, but we don't want to call somebody something that's so negative. Right. So we try to change the words. Hopefully that helps with the stigma.
Right.
And that's really important.
I've noticed a divide in, the way my daughter describes the school. She'll probably be mad at me for bringing this up on camera, but, it's like there's the kids that will do the vaping and the drugs or in the alcohol, and then there's a whole bunch of kids who are straight edge. It's kind of like, it seemed like there's really like 2 camps, and I find it fascinating. I'm like, wow, I remember a lot more casual users, of things, and I just, it's interesting. There's just a group of kids that do get into this stuff, and I guess you got to figure out how to reach them, or how to connect with them, right? Because the kids who don't do it, they, you don't have to worry about them so much. Maybe you do. You never know when that portal opens, but what are your strategies a little bit? I get so deep with you, but
no. These are all great questions because we are challenged by these questions every single day. How do we reach the kids that we really need to reach?
Yeah, right.
And
it's mental health stuff too.
Yeah,
that goes
it's
with
all
this.
mental health.
It's not just about the vape. It's about why you're doing it or what you're feeling in your day. Look, I'll tell you, I don't drink anymore, but I'm a cigar smoker, and sometimes I'm stressed out and I just grab a cigar and I'm like, I just need to clear my head, and so I'm using a substance of some kind. Mm-hmm. I'm not necessarily proud of it as my last vice, but we all have times where we're stressed out or there's mental issues or you need to clear your mind or get to another place,
anxiety, depression, so high, and especially in the schools, so some of the evidence-based programs are to address anxiety and depression. Yeah. So if you can try to, address the underlying issues, then maybe the substances won't be picked up as much.
Yeah.
You talked about co-occurring disorders. There are a lot of co-occurring disorders. If someone has ADD or ADHD or depression or anxiety, the chances of them drinking are stronger than not. Right. They're higher. So again, by addressing some of these issues, we hope that, they're not alone. Right. We want them to know you are not alone. Okay. There are answers to your questions. There's help for you. Someone is always there to help you. And we tell them where it is. how do we get to these kids? We try to get to the parents.
Right.
It's the parents too that are a really important segment for us. It's a very important sector. Parents, unfortunately, they're so busy today, between working and sports and running and doing it. They just have so much going on. So that's why podcasts like this is phenomenal, because you can listen in, and that's why, exactly. Yeah. And if you pick something up or you hear one thing that can help you, that's amazing. But we do have active parent training. We have other types of programs that we do for parents. And I think that it's really important to have parents learn all they can about drugs and alcohol, even if it's not your kid. A lot of people say, not my kid, not my backyard. But you know what? It just might be. So wouldn't you rather have the knowledge on what to do?
Yeah, it's just strange pride. You got to get humble a little bit that at any given point, something can change in someone's life and they pivot into some bad behaviors or difficult situations, and things happen, like portals open and close, and I think that you got to always be sober at any point, for even reasons you may not understand, right? It's wild. It's wild. Hey, I got to back slide a little bit into this. How'd you get into this?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
God has a sense of humor.
2 minutes or less. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So what
God has a sense of humor. Yeah. I'm actually in recovery myself for 36 years.
Bless you. Wow.
So
that's awesome.
I never thought that I would be doing what I'm doing. And if you would have told me this about 6-7 years ago, I'd say, no, I'm not going to do this. But you know what? I think it's so important to help somebody who's struggling.
Yeah. That's right.
I know what that's like. I know what that feels like. And people isolate, they feel alone, and they don't want to be like that. This is not, this is a disease. And when I look at that word, I love it, dis-ease. It's a dis-ease, right. And and I just felt that it was important to help somebody, but I literally fell into this. So I think it was meant to be.
Okay, now great. And how long have you been running this group?
Yeah, so it'll be 4 years in January.
Okay.
And I love it.
Okay, so you're still going strong.
Still going strong.
Well, we got a lot of good stuff ahead. So with what's ahead, how can people help you? What can they do?
Well, it's really interesting. We always need volunteers.
Okay.
And what we find is with funding and donations, if you don't know somebody who has this disease, or if you don't know somebody who is affected by it, chances are you don't want to get involved with it.
Yeah. It's a personal appeal.
It is a personal appeal, but you know what?
Yeah.
It's so important to be able to help the programs and keep the programs running so that we can do the education. So donations are always helpful. Volunteering is always helpful. Come to a general meeting. We have meetings the third Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
It's open. Anybody's invited to join us and listen in to see what we're doing.
Okay.
And I just want to give a plug to all the other coalitions on Long Island.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's like over 25 coalitions. Yeah. And I think it's really great because they're great resources. So if there's somebody in the neighborhood who wants to learn more about what's happening in their own town with what's here, get in touch with the coalition. I think the coalition would be really great. To help them.
That's great. That's great. You reach out to you guys. What's your website or Facebook, or what's the way to reach you?
So our website is awareli.org. And our Facebook page is at Aware.
Got it.
Long Island. We're also on Instagram.
Okay.
Same thing, Aware. We want you to be aware.
There you go. That's good. I like it. That's catchy. You get, it's clear. It's to the point. So last thoughts, final thoughts. Close us out, Linda. What do you think?
You're not alone. There's help for you. We want to help you, and we're there for you. So reach out if you need help, or if you have any questions, or you need resources. It's very easy to get in touch with us.
That's great. Linda, thank you so much for taking time today.
Thank you so much for doing this for us. We appreciate it.
Definitely, we appreciate your work. It's amazing. So again, for folks out there, Linda Oristano, again, the Executive Director of AWARE, Drug and Alcohol Community Coalition, based out of Northport. You can find them at awareli.org. Okay, they have a lot of great community-based programs that really get to schools, get to the kids, and really, again, connect people, connect parents, connect businesses, connect everyone to deal with some of these really, really tough drug and alcohol issues, and particularly some of these fentanyl things and everything. Don't go anywhere near this stuff, guys. But folks need help. There's mental health issues that are out there. There's lots of support services, and as Linda says, you're not alone. So this is, as tough as these issues are, it's also empowering to hear that there's people dedicated to doing this work. So with that, we always tell people, if you give locally, so if you give to Linda's group, that's important. Also give to, there's food pantries that are in need, there's other folks in need. Keep the dollars in the community. Also keep shopping locally. We're hitting on small business season, so please do that. And we'll catch you in the next edition.